So it says, so we're on day 3 of 10-1. So there's a lot of information in 10-1. And you're going to be tested on it so that you're, ready definitely for April with all school testing. So the radius of a circle is 6 centimeters. Find its area to the nearest whole number. All right, so according to our graphic organizer, we know that the area is equal to, not 2, sorry, that's circumference, is equal to pi times the radius squared. Now, if they're giving us a radius, there's not much we need to do here except just substitute in. So the area is going to be equal to 16 squared times pi. And when you put that in your calculator, and it sets the nearest whole number, the area is equal to about what? What we get? Devin, what'd you get? What'd you get? Can't hear you. Vienna, what'd you get? Okay, so 804.2. And if you look here, they just wanted to the nearest whole number, so that's 804. And we'll just put centimeters squared. Okay, so now there's a couple things we need to discuss here before we move on to the next problem. So first off, if you're talking about perimeter, because we're going to be using this a lot now, remember that is just like the unit itself. So that would just be like centimeters or meters or inches or whatever. If you're talking about an area, it's always a unit squared. So this would be like centimeters squared. Okay. And then when we talk about volume, it's always the unit cubed. So then this would be centimeters cubed if we were talking about volume. Okay. Those 3 points are very important because if on a test, when we get into that point where we're going to do area and all that, if you don't have the correct labeled unit, you could lose easy points. All right. So I'm mentioning it now, but we're going to mention it again a little later too. All right, so the diameter of a circle is 6 centimeters. Find its area to the nearest tenth. Okay, so if we take a look at this, now diameter, remember, is equal to 2 times the radius. They're telling us this is 6, so we're going to divide both sides by 2, so the radius ends up being 3. Now that I have that, I just substitute it into the area formula. Area equals pi times the radius squared. This will be pi times 3 squared, which gives me 9 pi. So what's 9 times pi approximately? And they said round to the 10th. What we got? Let's see. Yana? Say that a little louder, sorry. All right, so let's just say, 0.3, because it said round to the 10th. We'll add a letter squared. Questions on this? All right. Let's talk about the circumference of a circle. So the radius of a circle is 19.5 centimeters. Find the circumference to the nearest tenth. Now, one thing you need to know about circumference is that this circumference is the perimeter of a circle? Okay. So when we get into problems where we're going to combine some of this stuff, just note that, circumference is a fancy way of saying perimeter. Okay. So if we're going to apply the circumference formula, now the circumference formula is 2 pi times the radius. We substitute that in. This is 2 times pi times 19.5. And they want us to round in the nearest tenth. Someone tell me, what is the solution for this? Layla, C? Perfect. So this is 122.5, and we're just going to put centimeters. Questions on that? All right, let's talk about the diameter. So it says circumference of a circle, given a diameter of a circle is 8. Find the circumference to the nearest tenth. So someone tell me, what is the diameter here, Whitney? Or I'm sorry, what is the radius here? What's the radius going to equal here, Whitney? If we did 8 divided by 2. 4. Okay? So now that we have that radius, we just substitute it into our circumference formula. So this will be 2 times pi times 4. And it says round to the tenth. Someone tell me approximately what is this equal to? And I got Samira is next. What do you got? What'd you get? Did you do 2 times pi times 4? There you go, 25.1. So we get 25.1. Remember, this is like a perimeter, so that is in centimeters. Questions on that? All right, next example. Area of a sector. So in circle B, with the measure of ABC equaling 126 degrees. So right here is 126 degrees. And AB, so they're talking about this arc right here, is, the length is 17. Find the area of the sector ABC. So when they're talking about the area of the sector, they're talking about this guy right here, everything that's inside here. Okay? Now the formula for this, so area of a sector is equal to the central angle divided by 360 degrees. And we're going to multiply that by pi times r times squared. So what's happening here is we're basically getting just this portion, and then we're multiplying it by the total area. But that portion is all we're going to get back. All right? So when we're talking about area of the sector, this is going to be 17. Oh, no, not 17. Sorry. This is going to be 126 divided by 360. And we're going to multiply that by pi times 17 squared. Now, all you have to do is type this in the calculator as you see it. Parentheses 126 over 360 times parentheses pi times 17 squared. So just punch it straight in, but don't forget the parentheses. And then I want you to round to the nearest hundredth here. So someone tell me, what is that going to be about? Let's see. Sophia? Very good. So 317.77. And there's no units given, so we're just going to call this units squared. How we doing? Any questions so far? Okay. Let's move on to example 6. Arc length of a sector. Encircle S with the measure of RST equaling 128. So here's 128 degrees. And RS is equal to 11, so that's our radius. Find the length, arc length. Find the length of R to T. Round to the nearest hundredth. So in this case, we're not asking how many degrees this is. We're asking like if I like measured this. Like how many inches could it potentially be, kind of a thing. All right, so again, we're going to find arc length. The formula is the central angle divided by 360. So very similar to what we did before. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this by circumference, which is 2 pi times the radius. Or you could use pi times diameter. It really does depend on what you got. Okay? All right, so looking at this, the arc length is going to equal 128 divided by 360, parentheses, and then parentheses again, 2 pi times 11. Again, you can just type this in as is. They want you to round to the hundredth. All right, what did we get? Connor. Very good. 24.57. And remember, this is a length. So it's like a perimeter. So it's just units. There's no square there. Okay? Questions on this? Anything? Okay, you have your think of these graphic organizers as kind of your foldable. Okay? It's just a little bit more complicated, so it's not like opening up. All right? So get going on your homework. It's posted onto Google Classroom, and I did incorporate things from last week since our test is this Friday. Okay, don't expect it's not a million problems, guys. Okay, it's like 2 each. So have at it, and let me know if you have any questions. Those of you watching at home, have a great day.